Hey guys, Laurence from Laurence Creates, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit fun. Now, I made a video a while back where I used OpenAI's Codex to make a game, and in this video, this might be a two-part video. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but basically I want to complete an entire mobile game, including potentially monetization. We'll see what ChatGPT gives us. Basically, I want to make a mobile game that is fully coded by ChatGPT. I want to try not to assist it at all in terms of the coding side of things. In terms of like the Unity side of things and putting it together, then of course, clearly I'm gonna have to do that. So I'm giving it a couple of restrictions. One of the restrictions being I don't want to use assets. Whatever game it comes up with, I'm also not giving it an idea. I want it to come up with an idea. But whatever game it comes up with, it can only use the basically the primitive shapes that Unity provides and shaders. So it can do whatever it wants as long as it uses the primitive shapes and shaders. So I'm going to give it a starting prompt, and I'm basically going to say, in this session, you will act as Tom. Tom. Tom is a professional Unity3D C# mobile game developer. We'll say something like, Tom has released many successful titles and has many clients that he helps create games from scratch, which includes providing them with correct and completed code. Let's just pass that through ChatGPT and let's see what it gives us. So ChatGPT replies back saying, understood. From now on, I'll be Tom, professional Unity3D C# mobile game developer. Is there anything you need help with regarding game development? Let's just say I have a bit of a task. I would like to create a mobile game that I plan to release on Google Play. There are some limitations. The game can only be created with the primitive shapes included in the Unity engine and custom shaders that you can program. Please give me a list of 3 game ideas. So let's see what Tom creates. So he says, certainly, given the limitations, here are 3 game ideas that utilize Unity's primitive shapes and custom shaders. Sorry, excuse me. The first one being minimalist puzzle game. Create a puzzle game where players need to manipulate primitive shapes to solve increasingly complex puzzles. Utilize custom shaders to enrich the visual feedback and ambience. For example, as the player progresses, the colors or textures of the primitives could change to represent difficulty or achievements. Abstract runner game. Design a runner game where a primitive shape, sphere or cube, navigates through an abstract endless track filled with obstacles made of primitive shapes. Implement custom shaders to bring a unique and engaging visual style to the game. The shaders can create interesting visual effects like warping or color shifts, making the gameplay more challenging and visually competitive. Captivating. I was like, competitive, what? But captivating. Next is Shape Battle Arena. Develop a competitive game where players control primitive shapes with different abilities in an arena. They can battle against each other or AI opponents to be the last shape standing. Custom shade, yeah, that goes on with the custom shaders. So I don't like any of them. I'm gonna say, please create me more ideas. I'm looking for hyper casual games that anyone can pick up and play for a few minutes at a time. Let's give it that and see what it comes up with. Shape stacker. Players can stack geometric shapes to build a tower. The objective could be to build as tall a tower as possible while battling physics. Custom shaders can add visually pleasing aesthetics or indicate different levels of stability within the structure. Shapeshift. In this game, players might control a shape that can morph into different primitive shapes to pass through matching holes in oncoming walls or smooth transition effects. Okay, kind of a boring idea. Color Shape Blast. Create a game where players need to tap shapes to change their color to match an oncoming wave of colored shapes. Successfully matching colors results in a satisfying blast enhanced with custom shaders and eye-catching vision. Again, it's okay. The only one that kind of piques my interest is Shape Stacker, but then there's also so many games that are like that. So let's go again. Let's say, create me more ideas, but I want them more unique. And of course I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Let's go like that. Absolutely, coming up with unique concepts under the specified constraints can be quite challenging, but here are 3 more unconventional hyper-casual game ideas. Primitive Shape Orchestra. Players can create music by interacting with primitive shapes. Each shape could represent a different musical note or tapping. Okay, so that's not really what we're going to do. That basically means we're going to have to figure out music and all that. We don't really want to do all that. So that's kind of out of the question, but I mean, it's a different idea. Shape evolution. Start with a simple shape, and by collecting tokens or completing challenges, the shape evolves, gaining new vertices, edges, or faces. Custom shaders can highlight the evolution process with vibrant transformations, making the game visually stimulating. Meditative Shape Flow. Create a relaxing meditative game where players interact with flowing geometric shapes. They could blend, morph, or flow around the screen based on touch input. Custom shaders can create. Okay. Again, I'm not too sure. I'm just going to say create 3 more. And we're going to keep doing this until I find something that slightly intrigues me. I guess the first one that slightly intrigues me is, the Shape Stacker. Only being is because it's a game that's on Google Play already. There's multiple of them, and they're always a kind of successful game. So you can't really go wrong with Shape Stacker. I want to try and create this game fully with AI. It doesn't matter what it is. Monetize it, and then after the process and the release process, I plan to come back and share all the statistics that the game has done, whether the game's made no money, some money, all of that. And I might even spend a little bit of a budget advertising it, just to see what happens. Okay, so Shape Shooter. Players control a primitive shape that shoots smaller shapes to break apart oncoming complex geometric formations. Visual aesthetics. Okay, so it's basically just a shooting game. It's not really something I would consider fun, I don't think. Geometric parkour. In a surreal geometric world, players guide a primitive shape through a course filled with moving platforms and obstacles. Aiming for the furthest distance or highest score, custom shaders can add a mesmerizing visual effect. Okay. It's okay. Prism Reflect. A game where players manipulate primitive shapes to reflect and refract a beam of light through various levels. The objective can be to hit specific targets or create particular color combinations using custom shaders to visually represent the mixing and blending of light. this is actually pretty good. So we have Prism Reflect or Shape Stacker. I'm gonna go with Prism Reflect, just because it's something interesting. It doesn't just say bounce the beams of light around, there's plenty of that, but it says blend light to make different colors. Okay, so I'm gonna say Prism Reflect. That sounds amazingly cool. Can you please provide the exact steps we need to begin crafting this amazing idea of yours? There. This is now where it gets interesting. It's going to give us, okay, it's going to, it's going to give us the exact steps of everything. But let's just let it go on and we'll see. Okay, so the light beam mechanics is the one we're interested in mainly. So light source, red light source that emits a beam of light. Refraction, okay, level design, yep, that's fine. UI is fine. Testing, debugging, you know, we're gonna do all of this. And marketing, of course. It's basically just giving us a whole press kit for publishers and exactly how we're going to be doing this. Great. If I get a publisher, this is what I'm going to send them. All right. So, I mean, we really just want it to code us. So, can you begin? Let's just say. Can you list what scripts we will need to complete the game's mechanics? We want to get it so that we want to get it so that we can basically tell ChatGPT step at a time what we want it to program. If we ask it to program us this game, it's not really gonna work too great. It can. I've had it work fantastically, but to get the best chances of it, we wanted to get it to create a single system at a time. So by doing this, I mean, I don't know how the game is going to be created and controlled, but right now, ChatGPT thinks to know. And this is good. We're getting it prepped to create us code. Okay. Controlling the emission of light beams, detecting collision with primitive shapes, handling reflection and refraction based on the material such shader, properties of the collider material. So let's say, can you code, and we're gonna say that. Absolutely, the light beam controller script is quite crucial for your game. We would need a way to manage emissions, reflections, and refractions of the light beam. It's a simplified version to help you get started. So this is where it gets a little bit messy. It's gonna always try and go for the simplified version. This script assumes a line renderer to visually represent the light beam and utilizes raycasting to determine interaction between objects. So we'll see what it does. I've found that when it says things like a simplified version, it's gonna be a little bit of a hit or miss. Okay, so then it's also telling us what everything is, which is fine. All we need to do is copy this code, go to Unity, and for anyone wanting to know, I've created a 3D project using the mobile template. So we're going to create a new scripts folder. And we're going to create a C# script. And I think ChatGPT called this the light beam controller. Let's give that a shot. And copy and paste that. We have the beam length. the line renderer. Yay. The line renderer component needs to be on whatever this script is on. So, okay, let's save that. And we're gonna basically start creating a basic level. So first off, we probably don't need a skybox for this game. The background is gonna be black. We're gonna create a cube, and this is gonna be our basically the ground for the game, and it's going to be fairly large. Okay, now this is burning my eyes, so I'm gonna give it a fairly darkish material. For this material, I want to call it materials, and we're just gonna create a basic basic material, and for ChatGPT start giving us some ideas on shaders. Okay, so we're gonna call this the ground. Now we want to create a new cube. Let's say 0, 0, 0, and have this up by 1. This is going to need a line renderer, and then we also need our script. So the reflection mask. Okay. The reflection mask. Let's create another cube. 0 and 1. Now I don't know. We're just going to call this reflect and reflect. I don't know where the line renderer is going to come out of, but let's take a look. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait. On the cube, did we change? Okay, so this we want to change to reflect. So let's see what happens. So line renderer is shooting off. Oh, there we go. Okay. Very cool. So is this gonna... Okay. So ChatGPT has actually done a very good job with this. So I don't think that's going to keep on reflecting though. I highly doubt it. If it does, that's gonna be crazy. No. Okay. Alright, so it reflects off of 1. It doesn't reflect off of 2, which is, you know, it's a bit of a shame. That is very cool. It's definitely a very big start. So, okay, so I'm gonna say this script works great. However, it only works with one reflection. Please make it so that we can use multiple reflection objects for a single object that projects a beam. This script works great, however it only works with one reflection. Please make it so that we can use multiple reflection objects for a single object that projects a beam. Let's see that. Hopefully it remakes it, and we'll see what happens. So it says, certainly, to handle multiple reflections, you need to use a loop to continue reflecting the beam until either maximum number of reflections is reached or the beam no longer... Is that something that's already on the script? I didn't actually check. No, it just says beam length. Okay. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Alright, let's see. Now, I've had times where the first script works with ChatGPT and then it tries to make it better and it makes it way worse. So let's see. So the max reflections it says is 5. Alright, so let's try. So go move the reflector. It's still reflecting. If we rotate it, the beam is still being reflected. That's been like a bit of an issue there, but we'll see what happens. we're gonna copy this. And oh my goodness, okay. So we've got another reflection. Gonna copy that again. Oh my word. Okay. Copy again. Alright. Copy it again. And I think that might be it. After this reflection, it just stops the beam. Okay, well, I mean, isn't that crazy? So we can change the rotation, and basically the entire beam is gonna change. We can change the rotation of this one. You can see the beam is moving around differently. Bounces off that one. That is, I want to say, absolutely incredible. So I wanted to figure out this issue now. When we have the line renderer, it just looks really ugly going back to the starting point. So let's see if I can fix that for us. We'll say this script works great. However, the end portion of the beam always travels back to the starting beam projector. Can you please fix that? We won't make it a question, we'll just tell it to fix it. Okay, hopefully it fixes that ugliness. So it says, certainly the issue you're facing might be due to how the positions are being set in the line renderer in the else block. The beam is no longer, when the beam no longer hits a reflection object, the position should be set based on the reflection count so far, not a fixed value. Let's correct that. Okay, so it's looking like it knows what it's doing. Alright, let's give this a spin. So we go paste that in. And once it's finished compiling, righty. Now let's see. Oh, it still looks like it's doing it. Okay, did I copy it? Let's see. Copy code back here. Did I just save that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I didn't copy it the last time or it actually just isn't working as. So let's. Right, yeah, it's okay. It's still being a little bit messy with it. Let's just try just in case. Get another one here. Okay. But still doing it. We don't really want it to have that ugly point. So let's go back. I'm gonna say the script still has the same issue. Now I just want to make sure with the line renderer, just in case it's me. It might be me not making this correctly. Let's just play it and make the width slowly get basically thinner, and then this. Okay, yeah, it still looks pretty rough. Just see, make sure texture merge stretch. File is really gonna do anything. Okay, so I don't think it's anything to do. Yeah, okay. Let's just hope that ChatGPT can solve it. Okay, let's copy it. It looks like it's made a new one. I think. Back to Unity. Filing something. And let's hope that it's fixed it. Okay. So we get the we get the reflecting object. Oh. Okay, it might have fixed it. Fantastic. I'm just gonna bounce this around for a bit. And with this one, like you can, I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay. Okay, so that might now be an issue with the end, the last reflector sort of closes the connection, and that's not really a good thing. We kind of just want the beam to stop. But we can go ahead and just rotate this and just see all the craziness that happens. Okay. Cool. Okay. So it's done a great job. So we're gonna say did a great job. You fixed the issue. However, when the beam hits the last reflection object, the beam now returns back to the original projector from the last object it hits. So let's see if I can solve this last issue. I apologize for the continued trouble. The issue seems to stem from incorrect index when setting the position of the last segment of the beam in the else. Let's correct the index to ensure the beam extends from the last reflection point rather than traveling back to the origin. Alright. So let's see how well this does. This is what I mean. You gotta iterate over the code with it. You gotta use ChatGPT as an assistant working along you, rather than getting it to produce huge smacks of code. You don't want to tell it your entire game idea. It's gonna lose everything. Give it bits and pieces, and it seems to do okay. So let's copy and paste that, and this code. I'm not sure if that compiled, which means it either didn't change the code or it didn't copy. Okay, maybe it just compiled fast. Okay, so now really I want to make sure it's not doing what it did before. Okay, so it's not returning back to the original object, which is great, and we're gonna keep bouncing the beam along till it gets to the last possible. Okay. I mean, I think it kind of fixed the way it looked, right? But it definitely didn't fix it. So let's just say this script didn't fix the issue. The last reflector still returns the beam to the original projector. Okay, so we might have to go through a couple of iterations and eventually it might fix it. So let's see if another round of problem solving will allow ChatGPT to fix the issue here. By the way, this specific session that I'm using in ChatGPT is tied to Bing as well. So if we ever need to ask it questions and it needs to understand something, it can also use Bing to search up that answer. So we should have pretty good odds here. Okay, so let's copy, paste, save, go back to Unity, it's compiling. Now let's see. Is everything fixed or nothing? Right, so we got the beam bouncing and it's not coming back. Oh no. Okay, it is coming back. Let's just see. Let's keep going. Okay, it's definitely do this one, and then this one. Okay, so it's not good. Okay. Now this script has the original issue. The beam keeps coming back to the projector beam after it hits any reflector. The code before worked other than when the beam hit the last reflector. That was the only time, that the beam returned to the vector. Now, this script has the original issue. The beam keeps coming back to the projector beam after it hits any reflector. The code before worked other than the beam hit, other than when the beam hit the last reflector. That was the only time the beam returned to the projector. So let's see if it can fix everything. It says, let's revert the previous version of the script that worked for all but the last reflection, and then make a small adjustment to make the issue with the last reflection. We will adjust the position count and then the index used to set the position of the last segment of the beam. Okay, so let's give this a spin. Save. Okay. Let's see if it really did revert the changes. Okay, that's a good sign. And now let's see if it's fixed the issue we wanted it to fix. So we're going to keep on this. That's unfortunate. So it hasn't fixed the last beam issue. I don't want to go in and fix it myself. I want ChatGPT to try its best to fix it. So let's see. Let's just say, well, you fixed the issue with the beam going back with any reflection. It still has the issue of the beam returning after hitting the last reflector. So let's see one last time if it can fix it. We'll see. Might give it another couple of goes, or we might attempt to fix it ourselves. Like I said, I really don't want to touch anything the AI has done. I want it to try and make this entire game itself. Other than, of course, like I said, me putting it together. Is it the loop with no more reflections? Okay. That's something I haven't seen before. Let's see. Let us see if it has handled the problem. Okay, so first reflection. Second reflection, beam isn't returning. That's a good sign. Next one. Beam is still normal. Next. Nothing wrong with the beam. Next. And next. Oh, I think... that's it. That's great. There it is. So, lucky last try, ChatGPT finally got it working. So, that is absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't really know how many times we want it to reflect. We could go an absolute crazy number here. But because it's a mobile application, I'm just going to have a wild guess and say that this isn't going to be a fast thing to process for a mobile game. You can also see that the beam also reflects more than once. I can go back. So I'm not sure if we want to tell ChatGPT that we don't want that to happen, but this is a good start. And for the first video, I think we have made some pretty good progress. So yeah, I'll probably make another video shortly, and we'll get it started with the next process that it thinks we should be covering. Righto. So if you guys like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of this particular series, just please subscribe. I'd appreciate it muchly. And yeah, just leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.